See the basics to the attention, because it really that's what it really is. It's just a dream. The whole dream is just a movement of attention, and the dream is also a distraction from that source of attention that doesn't move, that which is always still, that which is always silent, that which is always open to receive and to witness any movement of attention. So you may actually see right now, at this moment, there is a stillness, and in that stillness, the attention moves. It may focus on the listening or on the sensations in the body, or there may be an inner commentary, agreeing or disagreeing, or having something to say or something to think. There may be memories coming up, or imagination or agendas. Those are all movements. This is movement of energy, movement of attention. That is basically taking away that attention from a stillness, from the source. But it doesn't really touch it in any way. The stillness, the presence is still there, regardless of the movement of attention. And we bring back that realization or that recognition that for any movement to happen, you have to be first. You have to exist for the attention to move and hear and taste and touch and smell and dream and imagine and anticipate and beat yourself up with the story, identify or something as something or the other. There have to be existence first. In that light of existence, in that radiance of being, there is the expression, there is the reflection of that being, where that emptiness, when that empty space, when that cognitive capacity, the cognitive, the cognizing emptiness reflects itself in form. The field of infinite possibilities starts vibrating into all sorts of energy patterns, the movements, the thought, the feeling, the sensation, the image, the interpretation of the image. All that appears out of that open field of stillness that you are, that presence that you are, that presence that is always there and never changes. That which changes, the content of attention, the content of the dream, it changes all the time. It may be pleasant sometimes, it may be unpleasant other times. It usually is just as it is. It's only the interpretation that tells you that, oh, that's not good enough. It's not enough love, not enough completeness, fulfillment, or any other sorts of pleasure. But that's just a thought appearing. That's just the content of the dream. The dream that exists only because you are. So you are, and you know that you are. In that awareness of presence, there is the reflection of it in the forms. The emptiness become form, and it become the 10,000 forms. It doesn't even become, it instantaneously is. There is no start point, there is no end point. The dream is always here, right in front of your eyes. Even though it is Maya, it is illusion, it doesn't last, it constantly fluctuates. And it changes altogether. The response of the body changes with the change in the environment. It constantly dances. There is no separation in that dance. One element changes and the whole picture, the whole dream changes. The weather changes, and it is the reflection of that changes within the human body. The diet changes and the reflection is in the human body. And the human body, the mood, the hormone, anything that changes reflects and affects the whole dream. But what doesn't change is the presence in which all this fleeting, changing, fluctuating dream shows up. And that presence is your essential nature. And you know that. It is only too obvious that if you weren't there, none of that dream would take place. If the body is a corpse, if it's dead, if there is no animating life essence moving through it, if the heart is not beating, if the eyes are glazed over and dead, there is no dreaming going on. Just like Bob brings the example of the computer. For the computer to display all that incredible content of whatever, the World Wide Web, or whatever it is that you need from it, the power has to be on. The animating life essence has to be there, moving through it. So what must you be, Bob would say? The computer or the physical body or the programs in the computer, which is the narrative pattern of survival mechanisms or behavior habits, or that animating life, that power, that life that animates it, brings it to, that uses it to express through it and as it. So that's obvious. Everybody is aware of that. Everyone is fully certain that that is the case. You are not your leg, you are not your big toe, you are not your hair, you are not your lungs. They're constantly changing. You don't even know how they function. They're your vehicle. But the life essence that animates them, that expresses through it, and as it, because the body is also made of the life essence. Everything is made of a life essence. So ultimately you are the body too, and every other body and every other content of the dream. But generally speaking, the presumption is, and that is the conditioned presumption, that I am this body, I am this mind, this is my identity. And now as this identity, I have to find and achieve completeness of fulfillment. I have to find the great enlightenment, because then I will feel better. That's misconception right from the start. You are not this body, you are not this mind, you are not the entity or identity or conceptual image or imagined self that is trapped within the body as a driver of that vehicle. You are neither of that. And you can have a look and prove it to yourself. You can see if there is an imagined entity there doing anything, if there is the identity called me anywhere to be found. And you see you can't find it, and yet the seeing is still happening. The thinking is still happening. So who's thinking? Who is seeing? What is thinking? And now we come from beyond the realm of the mind as such has to be transcended to land back at the realization that there doesn't have to be anyone who does the seeing. Seeing is a function, is an automatic function of the body, is the capacity. Just like heartbeat is a capacity, digestion is a capacity. There's no one doing any of it. We can say stomach is doing digestion, but does the stomach know anything about it? How to secrete the digestive juices or enzymes? Not at all. So nobody does the seeing. Is a capacity, is a function. Just like replacing the cells or producing saliva or sweat is the capacity of that vehicle, of that body-mind machine. Just like the computer has the capacity, if you connect the camera to it, to register whatever the camera registers. So those things are happening, and it's not the camera doing the registering. It is the instrument through which it is the registering happens. And it's not even a software that does the registering. Software just translated to the comprehensive, understandable images. So what does the seeing? What does the thinking? Again, for the mind, there has to be a thing or someone. There has to be a thinker. There has to be a seer. But if you look deeper, it doesn't. When there is raining, there is no one raining. In the raining, there is already contained the rain and everything with it. It's the whole process, the whole happening. And in that happening, the same happening is happening, the same happening is unfolding through the physical body. The seeing is happening. It is a part of the unfolding. The thinking is happening, part of the unfolding. There's no thinker, there's no one thinking. This is just the capacity that human pattern has. Other patterns have different capacities. They are dolphins that have sonars. We don't have those capacities. We don't have those ability to perceive through processing sounds and convert them to distance in a limited way. We do, but not in the same way as those animals. So different bodies, different vehicles have different capacities, just like computers, airplanes, balloons, cars, they all have different capacities. But what is it that is aware of all those capacities? What is it thanks to which this expression can even be here? And you can see that there is the aliveness, there is a beingness, there is a presence. And in that presence, because of that presence, as that presence, and through that presence, the whole content of the dream appears. The body, the mind, the thinking, the seeing, all of it happens in that presence. No presence, no seeing, no thinking. With the presence, yep, the whole dream. Even when you sleep at night, the seeing is happening. Physical body has the eyes closed. Physical body is not moving, is not speaking. And yet in the dream, the seeing is happening, the thinking is happening, the speaking, the communication, the running, the jumping is happening. It's just a different dream. The dreaming is going on uninterruptedly. It's constantly going on. But the recognition that the dreaming is possible because of that presence, because of that existence, and bringing back the attention to the fact of existence rather than to the content of dreaming. Dreaming will not stop, but it will lose its significance. Suddenly it will be experienced as, wow, what a show. Suddenly it will be benign. It won't be dangerous. It won't be serious. It won't be that important. What do I think about myself? What other people think about myself? What do I think about other people? What do I think about my job? What's, all the important little dramas happening through the day, which are effortlessly addressed by all the mechanisms already programmed in the body. If there is need to fight and flight or freeze, they will be in place. There is no need to anyone to be in control of those mechanisms. They are already set. If there is thirst showing up, the body will find its way and get the water and drink. If there is need to engage in the self-defense, that engagement is happening. It will be part of the dream, just like in a dream at night. The dream is not your problem, like Nisargadatta says. It's not a problem at all. It's quite an amazing piece of entertainment. It's not a problem at all. The problem is when you like one part of it and not the other. When you try to, I like this, I don't want this one to end. And I don't like this. Now you can see how quickly this sinks in the picture the idea of I. There is a me. I have preferences. I want the pleasure. I don't want the pain. So that idea of I only exists in the narrative mind. There is no experience of I. When the belief in that separate entity comes online, of course, there is a sense of contraction, of suffering, of self-humiliation, of loathing, of not being enough, or not deserving love, or being treated unfairly, or this, that, and the other. All those things are the consequences of the belief. Just like when you believe that, people believe that Earth was flat and they wouldn't sail towards the horizon because they were afraid they're going to fall. Or like little children believe in the tooth fairy or in Santa Claus. The belief makes it real. They write the letters to Santa. But the beliefs can be questioned. And this is also what we do here. The only freedom that can ever be experienced within the dream, which doesn't stop, the dream will go on, is the freedom from the belief. Particularly from the belief of being someone or something limited, localized, rather than just being life itself, looking out through that pair of eyes and ears or whatever, just experiencing and expressing itself. Because in direct experience, that is what you're going to find. The seeing is happening, but there's no miniature little me that does it. Hearing is happening again. No miniature little me that does it. Same with thinking. There is an illusion of thinker. There is illusion of free will. But you can very easily prove it to yourself that this is an illusion. Just test it and see if you can stop thinking for a day or two. Or see if you can only think blissful, enlightened thoughts like I'm the absolute or God or whatever. It's a proof in the pudding. It's not going to work because there is no thinker. The thoughts show up according to the environment and the conditioning. The thoughts are just the operating program of that machinery that is navigating the world, from which it isn't separate. It's a communication unit. Doesn't have any volition, any power. It just narrates. And that is actually a good news. That is a message of freedom, that what you are is not that imagined entity that can't be found, but the life itself. And right now, in your direct experience of seeing, hearing, tasting, touching, smelling, and no one doing any of it, heartbeat, digestion, sweating, or shivering, or whatever it is, no one doing any of it, you might just relax that sense of identity and let the life play, let the life see, let the life hear, let the consciousness see through your eyes. Get out of the way and let it see. Focus behind your eyes, see what is seeing. There's nothing there. Let that nothing see. Let it see. Relax and let it see. The idea may come that, oh no, I can't relax. This is fearful. This is stressful. I don't want to let go. Well, this is just a voice. This is just a narrative program saying it. There is no one there behind. Have a look again. Who is afraid? Who is afraid to let go of the illusion of control? There is no control. Nothing is in control. There is just one oneness, one completeness, one life. See how you are not in control of the breathing. When the body runs a bit faster, breath self-regulate. When the air is gone, well, the body drops away. What control over that? And if you do the breath work, or you do the Wim Hof, it feels like, oh, he tells me to breathe faster, and he tells me to stop the breathing, and I can follow it. I have a choice. Well, really? What about if he doesn't tell you? What about if the thought of controlling breath never arises? Can the breath be controlled then? And how do you think that thought? How does it arise? How do you discover the thought, the decision, the choice? You can see it arising the same way as the sound of the bird or the sound of the traffic arising, showing up. You are the field of knowing. You are the cognizing emptiness. And whatever arises in that field of knowing is just whatever arises. It is being discovered. But who discovers that again? Does it have to be someone? The capacity for seeing. In that capacity, there are floating dreams passing through. The idea that there is me seeing is another floating dream passing through. There is no one seeing. There is just seeing. There's no one thinking. There's just thinking. One thought at a time arising in the space that you are. In the same way, there are habits of resisting, habits of anxiety, different habits of traumatic response, or maybe PTSD, or maybe whatever it is that the body collected in the dream. What does it have to do with you, the presence? Nothing. You are the witnessing presence in which the body may have habits or addictions or dysregulated responses or its craziness or chattery mind. In that presence that you are, this is what arises. What does it have to do with you? This is not to say that the thought may not show up to go and do the therapy or to go and take a supplement or psychedelic or whatever it is. The thought may arise, but again, who created that thought? It has been discovered. In the field of awareness, the thought arises. It may address the situation of the body or it may not. And what does it matter to use the space? Whether the one life will be saved or whether one life will fall short or will die of cancer or will crash in a car. You are the life itself. You have infinite amount of channels of expression. Every thought is an expression of life. Every story is an expression of life. And every body mind is an expression of life. And as life, what does it matter? What's that particular body has to do or say, or how is it going to live, or what is it going to find, or how is it going to end? For the life, it doesn't matter at all. And the dream character still will, as it does in the animal world, will still have its preservation, self-preservation instincts, will still follow the pattern of seeking pleasure and avoiding pain. And you may just rest and see the dream unfold and see what's the next agenda, the next pattern of following pleasure and avoiding pain. And what's the next complaint of the mind? Because that's what it is going to keep doing. The freedom is not when the mind stops doing its job. Freedom is regardless. The mind can keep complaining forever. And the presence, the awareness, the space that you are, it doesn't mind. It doesn't care. It's the belief in the content of the complaint that brings about the idea that this is me. I believe it. I'm trapped. I'm in the mind. This is my mind. They are my thoughts. They are serious. They're important because they're mine. They're in my head. Are they really? Are they really in the head? Where the thoughts are. You can find that the only accurate answer to the question where is here. But does that here have to include the location within that dream body? Because it is a dream body. You can close your eyes and go to sensory deprivation chamber, and where is the body? What is the body? How much do we know about the body till we hit the hand or arm or break a rib? If the body is working accurately and it makes no problem, there isn't even an awareness of the body. The body is a dream vehicle. The life dreams itself a body, just like it does at night when you sleep. It dreams itself a body that is climbing the mountains, communicating, flying, doing whatever else, while the physical body is not. It's the dreaming machine. It's the vehicle for experiencing and expression, for that emptiness to turn into form, to play and appear as a reflection of itself in the seeming form, which isn't. There is no form. They all made of emptiness. They all Maya. They all dream. Just like the dream at night seemed so solid, The trees you might have been climbing look like 100 years old trees. There is no 100 years old dream. It all appears in an instant. The whole past in the dream. The buildings have never been built. The assumption is that they were. But were they? And prioritizing direct experience in this dream as well. Where is the past? Unless you think about it. And if you think about it, you're thinking about it right now. So the whole past, the childhood, the trauma, the abuse, the dysregulation, the conditioning, all of it is improvised right at this moment and projected as if it happened over the period of 10, 50 or 100 years or whatever. And you can even project the past lives and whatever else, whatever not. They're all happening right now through the activity of that incredibly creative projector. They all imagined. They're all part of the dream. And what's real? Reality is that which never changes. The witnessing presence, whether there is a dream at night being witnessed, or whether it is the daydream being witnessed, or whether it is just the presence of seeing, hearing, tasting, touching, smelling being present, thinking being present. That presence, that witnessing capacity, that open space of cognizing emptiness, that is not touched or affected by any of it. Like the camera which is hooked to the computer is not affected by what it registers. It is always neutral. It is always open. That openness, that field, that is that which never changes. And that is your essential nature. Without that, there is no dream. There's nothing happening. So how important is the content of the dream from that perspective? It's amazing. There will be moments of incredible, incredible pain. There will be moments of darkness, of the dark weather, of the cold weather, of the sunny days, and the warm days. It has to change. It has to fluctuate. If there was no experience of pain, there would be no experience of pleasure. If there was no experience of sadness, there would be no experience of joy. If there was no experience of night or winter, there would be no experience of summer and day. So the dream will fluctuate, will have all the shades and colors and ups and downs, as it always does. But the consciousness, the pure field of knowing, the cognizing emptiness, that is forever untouched by the content of the dream. The dream character, yes. You may see the dream character throwing a tantrum, sulking, and laugh, and be that relaxed presence in which there is like, oh, wow, amazing. I didn't know this one still had it in you, in yourself, you know? When, Bob lived such a beautiful, long, and amazing life, and up until the end, he would have the days when he would tell me in the morning, oh, I feel a little bit irritable today, just so you know. And that would last for maybe an hour or so. And I would be tiptoeing around him because, the respect for that energy to be there and to even itself up. Those energies, those movements are always and forever changing. That which is the content of the dream is always and forever changing. But that which witnesses it, it doesn't mind. Irritability, complaint, welcome. Joy, pleasure, welcome. That space doesn't mind what happens. It understands that everything has its turn. Now is the time for the low tide. It will change. Now is the time for ecstatic love relationship. That will change. Now is the time for grieving. That will change. Nothing stays the same in the dream. So how important is that? If you put your heart with the truth, with the reality, with that which never changes, with the miracle of consciousness itself, the life itself. And you see the dream from that perspective. And whether the dream is pleasant or unpleasant, that which is untouched, your essential nature, will just be in a state of awe. Depression, wow. Now, is the remedy coming up? No, okay. Oh, yes, okay. Whatever happens, it's okay. If there is something arising, the pain in the body, there may be a call that may be answered. Let's see the mechanic, which is a doctor. Or not. Well, okay, let's see how much that is going to endure. And it doesn't matter for the space. Whether you take pain medication, you don't take pain medication, absolutely doesn't matter for the space. The content of the dream is secondary. It matters for the dream character. Yes, it will always prefer pleasure. Sometimes the pleasure is pain. Oh yeah, I'm so good, I can endure the pain. Yes, that's pleasure. Nonetheless, according to the conditioning, according to the way the machine has been programmed, it will unfold. It will leave the dream the way it can, you know, like the car. If the car has a good brakes and a good clean windscreen, it will go fast and it will brake efficiently. If it is an old car, it will probably be a little slower and a little bit less efficient. But what does it matter? That presence, that awareness in which the car is appearing and is moving through the dream, that one is never touched. And that one forever marvels at the dream. Because even the capacity for dreaming is quite incredible. There could be nothing. And that dream right in front of your eyes, nothing tangible, nothing graspable, constantly fleeting, changing, every moment completely different, fresh and new, never to be repeated, never to be the same again, never to be captured, just to be lived fully right now. And the new moment comes. For that life essence, even to be lost in the story of imagined self, even to be lost in the dream and looking for itself as if it could ever move away from itself. What a joke. Even that is a marvelous expression. So there is no need to knock to other people's door. Oh, you have to awaken, or you have to hear the message. You have to find the truth, liberation, enlightenment, all that nonsense. No, life doesn't mind. It doesn't matter. It's the content of the dream. There is no one to awaken. There is no one who is awakened. There is no one there. Awakening is the realization that there is no one there. It's just life, outpouring, looking out of the eyes, listening, hearing, just life, no one there. Feels there is someone there? How does it feel? How do you know? Who is that knows? That knows? Does it feel like a contraction here? Does it feel like a bubbling, crying, not in the throat maybe? Or does it feel like a big ego? Yes, I know who I am. I love myself. Whatever it does, it's not always there, is it? Those feelings, they're sometimes there, sometimes not. But the presence in which they happen, whatever the image may be, and you can see how it is changing. On a good day, you may have healthy self-image and good self-esteem, and you may be confident. On a bad day, you are humbled, humiliated, not enough. Poor me, miserable. Which one? Which one is you? You can see how many different roles and how many different games it plays. Once you are a body, another time you are the mind. Now you are right, and now they are all wrong. Those are all just dream roles, the patterns of the conditioned mind acting out its conditioning, acting out its roles. Amazing, amazing. Being able to relax out of the identity of that temporary presumed image that is constantly changing, and seeing it change, seeing it come online, and bragging or shaming itself or loathing or obsessing, because it always obsesses about itself. This is happening to me. They did it to me. Or I did it to myself, or it's my fault or their fault, or whatever it is. It always obsesses. And just relaxing out and seeing, this program again. Now is yapping about this. And now is yapping about that. But it is just a commentary. It's just like your chat GPT. It chats. Although chat GPT answer questions when asked. And mind is a little bit of a dysregulated form of intelligence. And it yaps even if it's not asked. But again, this is a survival mechanism. It navigates the urges, it translates and relates whatever is happening in the body. It translates them to the language of duality or language of words and symbols. That's its job. When it does its job properly, it looks out for dangers and it reports, oh, these guys, they judge me, or they don't like me, or this is not optimal, or I'm missing this, I'm lacking this, I'm stressed out, I'm insomniac, I'm this, I'm that. Is this just narrating whatever is happening in the body? Let it do its job. It doesn't matter. You can see the pattern, you can see the mechanical behavior of the mind, and how does it touch you? It doesn't matter. Don't mind the mind. Oh gosh. Okay, that was too much.
That was just pure pleasure. I just want to keep going and going and going. It's so good. So good. There's nothing to, no icing that can be put on the top of that, or cherries or strawberries. So good. So good. Yeah.
Liquid gold.
Liquid,
I'm just
you know,
butting in.
liquid gold actually
Liquid
came,
gold.
the same expression came here, liquid gold. I didn't say it. It's just, wow. Yeah.
Yeah, liquid gold.
And just so,
It's so beautiful.
Yeah, it is. There is a pleasure in looking back at that incredibly marvelous essence. Yvonne, would you like to unmute?
Yes. Well, thank you, Kat. It was very nice to listen to. And I was wondering, you said aliveness, and I was thinking aliveness is talking to aliveness. There's only aliveness, and yeah, there's no talking to us, or we are not talking to you. There's just nothing. In effect, we are already dead. So you could say who is talking when we are not here, but we are not here, and we are already dead, but there is aliveness. So when we were dead, aliveness would speak to another vehicle, but it will always be talking, and aliveness is always there. That was what I wanted to say.
it's really, you know, you could think one voice.
Yes.
If there was a voice,
Yes.
just one,
Yes.
different presentation. But perhaps we could greet each other differently instead of in individual names, which everybody is good to see you laughing. Good to see you laughing. How wonderful. You look fabulous today, laughing.
Yes.
And always.
Oh.
Would be a little bit weird.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe we'll leave it.
What would say that you go to the funny farm? Huh?
Yeah, well, yeah.
Yeah, beautiful. Thank you, Yvonne. It really is that one life expressing through everyone and everything. It's just like no one is doing the seeing, no one is doing the speaking. Nobody knows their next thought. Nobody knows what's going to come out of their mouth. How would they know? It's to be discovered as you hear it or as whatever. It's just, it's all on life.
Yes. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. And Isabel, would you like to unmute?
Yeah, that was really yummy. Golden Gloria. Wow. I was so touched with everything, and wow, I think I must let the voice express something together. And I was 1 week by my grandchild, and as a baby from 11 months. And then that you were speaking now and sharing with us, for me, was it really a big, seemingly happening when Bob one time shares, how do you know that you ever was born? He asked that question sometimes. And then when you share now also the dream at night, and that seeing is always not there. You cannot see this on, you cannot see this out. It is always not there, that seeing. And that seeing is there when you wake up in the morning, you can say, there is a newborn movie, a newborn, because you don't know what that day brings. And yeah, when you're looking in the mirror, you recognize this body. But it is a newborn day. And then I was thinking when I was with my grandchild, then Bob said, people told you that you was born. People told you, hey, Isabella, you are a girl, you are lovely, you are naughty, you are such a quite nice baby. But then when you recognize there is no sun going down, there is no sun going up, the seeing is one big universe, and then it is seemingly, and when you go back in time, you're with the birth with your child, that bringing a child in this world. But that is always the speaking of this, or to try to explain, it's always it cannot speak about it because it is always history. And the new is so new and so fresh. And it feels now like, how can I explain this? Now, yeah, I have my language. Sorry for this again, because who say sorry? But you know, the stream was never going away. The seeing is never not seeing. And then I like also a little bit to play with it. You have seeing and you have looking. And it was always a little bit a wait for me. Yeah? When somebody says, yeah, you look through your eyes, the seeing. But now I can see the seeing and even the looking out of the eyes, the happening from this imagined body, what brings this life to, yeah, the life I'm calling Isabel. And that's such a beauty that's always never not here. And you're always here, but never not here. That's such a nice explaining, like in the East, they say the greeting like this. And when you do this, you can feel a little bit that emptiness, that no, yeah. Oh, I'm a little bit, yeah. But thank you, Kat. It was really, really, wow, really to the point from all. Yeah, it was a dance like home here. Thank you for this.
Thank you. And we have Jens here says, everybody says I, but only no one connects the dots. Yeah, that's a beauty. Yes, there's no one to realize or to find awakening or enlightenment. No one who gets liberated. The liberation is from the illusion of self, but who gets liberated? No one.
Yeah.
The funny thing is that billions and billions of bodies says I, using the same name. I.
Yes.
But connecting the dots, understanding that that I is the I in all and everyone, it takes no one to do that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a timeless now. A timeless now is always here,
Yes.
always fresh, always new. And
Yeah.
that's such a beauty and the marvelous, and they are really such a freedom. It's even not freedom, this is what it is, but it gives so much relief, and especially for you, this space, it is marvelous. I see the Jenny at the end up.
Yeah, would you like to come in, Johnny?
Yes. Let me take her hand down. Yes. What I wanted to just to highlight, which also I think is part of what creates, a little bit the conundrum of the duality, is that life essence, both, as you said, expresses through and as the body. And it is when the identification is with as the body. If it's the belief that there's only as the body, then you become attached to the physical. So, but also that is a necessity, because if there wasn't this body, this vehicle here to express through it as, there would be no sensory apparatus, there would be no way of experiencing, life, of what life is lifing, what life is expressing, so it's the identification. And also where we put our attention, energy flows. Where your attention goes, energy flows. So if we all the time think that this is me, this is me, this is a little me inside of me doing all the things, of course that gets ingrained. But the more attention goes to the awareness that is aware of all that stuff going on in the head, all the commentaries, all the narratives, the less attention is free to go to the little self, to the me, to that belief. So it's, in a sense, it's a beautiful natural process, to just rest in that attention. And I loved when Bob also always reminded us of that it all shows up within both silence and stillness and emptiness. There's so many words for the undescribable, where all shows up in,
Are you muted now?
Yes. Yeah, you're muted now. We can't hear you.
Yes, I said that's it. I ended it. Well, that's
all
it.
right, okay.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, we invited Bob to the picture, and the cat straight away invited herself as well. Yeah, beautifully said. Absolutely. It's just so simple, so elegant, such a brilliant design. It's like it is the pure perfection. You can see, you know, all the reverence and all the devotion and all the love that goes towards that so-called creative power, which is personified as a big daddy somewhere in the sky. But you can see this is really just for the purpose of love and worship and all that juicy, yummy, devotional feeling. Like, hey, but this is so beautiful. The design is so brilliant. God is so great. And that
And
is who you are.
yeah, and when you took out the picture of Bob, I just have there's may I share something a little bit off topic but still on topic. There's this jewelry maker on Hawaii that makes these small little charms you can get them in all kinds of materials, but from bronze and silver and gold, whatever your wallet allows, you know. And they have these messages like "Be here now," "I am love," or small reminders of. They're really pretty, small reminders. And I have, over the past years, I've just gifted myself, because we don't give each other Christmas presents anymore or birthday presents. So I gifted myself, you know, one of those little charms. And then this year for Christmas, I suddenly saw one. They had made a special edition of a little charm that looked like a skull with a lotus flower on its head. And it's too tiny to be shown, I think, on camera. Or wait, hang on, here it is. Let me see if I can zoom it in. Hang on, let me show it.
Beautiful. Wow, gorgeous.
Like this. And it has one pink eye and one green eye. And guess what she named the charm? Petit Bob, little Bob.
Oh, that's so cute.
Little Bob.
Oh.
So that is me. So every day, you know, I look at little Bob, which is like, so it is the message of eternity, you know, that it was a skull, you know, with a lotus, and just the name Bob, you know. Of course I could not resist, you know.
Yeah.
That was an absolute, you know, but it brings me so much joy, so much joy. So there Bob is on as a picture, and here Bob is as a little death, as a charm, as a skull. And it's all an expression of the essence, because it's all made up of the same nothingness, of the same emptiness. So that's what I wanted to share.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can't you not
Mm.
love the dream with
Mm.
all of your
Mm.
heart? With the little thingies in the dream that just accentuates that appreciation in whichever way it appears, especially when the personal agenda is rested and the sense of danger and all that stuff that the dream character is constantly obsessing and processing. And it's just resting as that field of knowing, in which, of course, the dream character still has its ups and downs and stomach aches and headaches and all that. But in the meantime, there are those little beautiful things that kind of make a dream world worth living, make them bring back the loving to be. That, wow, what a ride. I think Tanya picked up some good cards for us.
Yeah. I pick one. Okay. So this is a really short one, and but it's on
Short
target
and
to reflect. You are prior to thought, but are you prior to life? You are life. In a nutshell.
And you can see on the cards, are we going to show it? They are live. The seagulls flying here and the seagulls flying here.
It's a very pretty one. And this is another reflect. Is mind anything other than thought? What is thought? Isn't it a subtle sound or vibration of energy? Clarity is only one thought away. But it is, you know, thought, there's so much angst, energy, belief, or investment in it. It's not. Where is it? It's not. It's not real. It's not real. It's just a phenomena, a passing phenomena. Yet there's so much investment and attachment and belief and in these vibrations of energy that are ever changing.
And the order
Incredible
of
illusion.
importance in thoughts, you know, when the thought says I, suddenly, oh my God, how important it is. You know, the thought, tomorrow is going to be a warm day. Not that big of a deal. But tomorrow is going to be a warm day, so I go and do something. Suddenly the meaning flows into it. The importance goes into it. The I, and especially thoughts relating to the self and relating to the safety of the self or the pleasure pain.
And if that's noticed, then when the thought becomes personal, then that's the opportunity again to take a look. Okay, can this I that's going to be pissed off by the weather tomorrow or now be found? And then, looking. Nobody's home. And that's it, really. And I think there's another one. There's and actually, okay, so this one is recognize that. Non-dual meaning one, not two, is pointing out that everything is an emanation of the same one intelligence energy, the activity of knowing. A reference point or self-center cannot be found. Full stop.
So how is the life if it's not referred to the me? Things are happening and things are neutral. Things are showing up and moving away. Amin, would you like to come online and mute? Or are you on mute?
Yeah. Do you hear me? You hear me well?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah. Okay.
You're a little muffled, maybe. So,
Yeah, that's my mic. It's
that's better. That's
That's
better.
Okay. Thank you. It's so good to hear you, Kat, and everyone. I don't know what to share really. Just had the impulse to express some resonations. It's and wanted to taste maybe here what it is to let this void speak and let this recognizing emptiness express uh, the experience of just witnessing and welcoming every aspect of life, as you say. It's really kind of so much it's always so much beauty, even when there is discomfort or maybe just or the dream character some difficulties or pain or fatigue. It's just always so fresh and new, and yeah, without any meaning, without any explanation or the will for explaining what is left, you know. If there is no will to explain, what is left is just it's just experiencing. It's just pure experiencing, and this purity of experiencing is so deep, so profound, and there is nothing to say really about it. Just celebrate it. That's the beauty of the space we share here. It's just a celebration each Tuesday, each Thursday, each Sunday. It's just beautiful. So thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah, it is the life, living a life from the position of just celebration. What a call. Just being able to relax that attachment to the imagined identity, the imagined self. Because that is just a function of the narrative. It's a function, it's a program. Seeing how it operates, seeing how it functions, betrays its mechanicalness. Now, as you see when that sense of things being personal comes online, and you can see how this is really just another way of the narrative to do its job, to protect the body. You can see the surging urges in the system being translated to the thoughts and related to the entity that allegedly lives somewhere in the body. And when that magic trick is seen through, when it is recognized, it becomes a marvel. It isn't an obstacle anymore. It isn't the cause of suffering anymore. It's a marvel, because naturally, Jesus hanging on the cross, Father, why have you forsaken me? Naturally, the body will come up with the response like that. It has to. Its job is to survive. And the narrative, the mind that narrates the body, naturally does its job by translating the urge to survive into the words of crying or mourning or asking or complaining or finding solutions, fixing problems. That's the job. It done well. It's incredible to look, to watch, and seeing how everyone around you is another body-mind mechanism doing its best at any given moment to preserve the life and to find the pleasure, happiness, fulfillment, absolutely mechanically, as it has been conditioned. And what's conscious about it is the awareness, is the consciousness in which it all happens. No one has ever did you wrong, because there is no one there. There is no one inside your body-mind machine. There's no driver. It's a self-driving car. It beats its own heart. It takes the air, it expands and contracts the lungs, it replaces the cells, it grows the hair. It's a self-driving car. It's no one that needs to do anything about it. And so are everybody else's cars. There is no one there in your mother who may be wounded or abandoned you or whatever. There's no one there. It's the body-mind mechanism trying to survive and strive for finding pleasure or whatever, joy, happiness. Eternal innocence of everything that unfolds in the dream. Just like on the docos on nature, there is a predator hunting the prey and eventually capturing, killing, and eating. Eternal innocence. There's no guilt, there's no shame. And of course, there are human predators that are hunting and killing and eating or raping their victims. Eternal innocence. They don't know any other way. And of course, it doesn't mean that the eternal innocence of life will not put the jail in place, or the revenge in place, or the religion and remorse. Yes, everything self-organizes and everything has its place in the dream. But it doesn't change the fact that there is no one inside Hitler. There is no one inside Putin or whatever. I don't know if he is the dark character. I'm not following.
I was sure you were going to say Trump. But
Oh, yeah, maybe try. Yeah.
because he's a favorite. Remember?
Is he?
There's nothing there. I
Yeah.
thought so. He's not the doer. It's just part of the play, the movie. Yeah, enjoy it.
Yeah.
Enjoy the spectacle. It's interesting. What next?
Yeah.
It's actually, just by a way of information, one of the things that the Trump administration is doing at the moment is stopping funding for a lot of research. And I have a friend who works in the US, and he said he saw a 42 pages long document of all the research projects that the Trump administration has pulled funding on that disagrees with their dogma. It's fascinating, and never seen anything like it in the history of research funding. Yeah, 42 pages worth of folks who do work into substance use, gender studies, all that kind of stuff that this current US administration doesn't think is worthy. But you know what?
Life will self-regulate.
It's going to sort itself out. Nobody needs to do anything to correct it.
Yes, yes. But it is, yes, quite interesting. Quite interesting. Things like that pass on in the dream. Nobody objects to it. And we have Yvonne says, magic trick aliveness appearing as the 10,000 things. And Hank says, whatever happens, I am not that. The body and mind are following the destiny. Beautiful. Pol Pot.
Pol Pot.
Marianne said Pol Pot.
Dictator.
Oh, yeah. Yes, and Isabel, would you like to unmute?
Yeah, I have a question, and I verbalized it in words. When I can remember, I hear from you that you was that it was for you. It was a balm, and when I see for here, it was really a process, because I saw it, and I thought I was losing it, and I was thinking, oh, I lose it, and then came the input was really like we know all here. The input was seemingly helping this. It was not from the thought, I do this, I do that, but the input was helping with the inquiry. And then the inquiry came from, when I was, I'm out it, and then the inquiry came, who wants to know? You know, that was the last parts. And I must be honestly, sometimes take me away, and then comes, who wants to know? But what I wanted to say, you saw it like that. On this place, was it really a journey, seemingly journey? But we see now that everyone is consciousness speaking to each other. Was it for you? When I speak for me, when I with people around us, they are a little bit shit, man. People that they are a little bit not okay. Let's say that, and then I can see, oh, that's consciousness too. That don't know what they say because it is a programming, it is the input what's expressed this seemingly person. Maar was it for you not when I see for here that also need to sink in, that seemingly character. No, I see now for me it's it's also bullshit to say that you are after that you are more soft, more lovely, more this. It is also bullshit. It's, I see it now. So, whole story for nothing. Oh. Yeah. But that's why we're here, because you can only see it for yourself and you speak it loud out and you're recognizing in their speaking and yeah. Thank you.
That was gorgeous to watch that. It was really great, really great. Yeah. Yeah, it's all bullshit.
Yes, and Ivan says here, no after, no before, always been this. Yes, and same but different, says Jenny. Yeah, beautiful. See, again, the ideas, the spiritual ideas of saints, when you realize the truth, straight away, overnight, you become a saint. Suddenly, you're only loving everybody with all of your heart. You put the other cheek when they slap you. You give away your last loaf of bread and starve. Show me that in nature. When does it ever happen that overnight any creature suddenly surrender its body to be eaten by predators? It doesn't make any sense. How would life experience and express itself if it did that? So whatever the body, whatever the dream character does, it really doesn't matter. Whether the dream character is kind and loving and showing the other cheek and generous and pleasant, or is drinking like Alan Watts or smoking cigarettes like Nisargadatta or doing whatever it does, what does it matter? But generally, what's observable, and everyone can relate it in their own life, when you are in a good mood, when you are happy and you're feeling elated and you get up in the morning and it's a bright day and you have a nice shower and a good breakfast and you see someone on the road and you greet them, naturally the smile pours out of you. When you are happy, that's what you're sharing. When you are complete, when you are fulfilled, when there is nothing missing, when there is nothing wrong, that's what you're sharing. If you realize that what you are is absolute, is beautiful, is brilliant, there is nothing wrong. Well, the dream character may have some flaws, may have some aches and pains and some character defects and all the other things that may get disruptive, dysregulated. Who cares? But what you are at heart is the marvel reflected in everything in the dream. So naturally, there is a joy, and that is what is being shared. And that makes you naturally more prone to see what other people need. You are naturally more prone to notice when someone needs a hand and be there, because you're not preoccupied with the drama in your head. You're not taken back by the stories from the past and traumas. You're not obsessing about the me that doesn't exist. So you are more present and more happy naturally. Not always. There will be still days with headache, there will be menopause, there will be andropause or whatever, or cancer or irritability or a bad mood or anything. But in general, the sense that there is nothing wrong with me, that there is no me to have anything wrong, that there is nothing that needs fixing, that there is nothing that needs self-rejection and humiliation, nothing to hate. It naturally brings more serenity to life, more wonder to life, more joy. So you're not saint overnight. The personality doesn't change, it stays the same. But as you are in everyday life, on a good day, you're probably more kind naturally. And on a bad day, you're probably more bitter naturally. Like Bob would sometimes tell me, you know, I'm feeling a little bit irritable today. Whatever, vitamin B12 deficiency, whatever, who knows? But, you know, leave it a space. That is what arises. And I see Hank says natural compassion. Yes, 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 when there is space for it. You know, when there is a self-obsession going on constantly, the attention is completely preoccupied with the drama of me, which doesn't exist. There's no space for anyone else, and there's no space for natural compassion. But when that attention is free, it naturally comes online. Happy people share happiness. Hurt people hurt people. So being hurt, being devastated, being in a state of suffering, feeling that I'm not enough, that there is something wrong with me, everyone hates me, God hates me. Well, naturally, I'm hurt. And hurt feels like, it feels a little bit elated when there is a companion, you know, that there was
Misery loves company.
Yeah, unfortunately, there was a research, you know, how bad people feel when they lose 20% of their salary. Oh, horrible. But what if all of their neighbors also lose 20% of their salary? Oh yeah, that's no problem. Oh, when you lose your loved one, well, tragedy. But what if there is a war and everybody lose their loved one? Oh yeah, that's okay. It's unfortunately that's the research showing how social proof, how you know, the pack animals we are. If there is a shortage of food and everybody is missing out, well, okay, we'll deal with it. But if there is only me and everybody else is wealthy, oh shit. So we want them to be poor too. That feels normal. That feels better. Horrible. But that's the human condition. But when we're happy, we wish the happiness to everyone. Why not? Jenny, would you like to unmute?
Yes. Hang on, let me take down the hat. Here we go. Yeah, it was when Isabel was sharing, it suddenly just flew into my mind that with getting it and not getting it, that, you know, they say we always dream at night, that there always are dreams happening when we sleep. Yet some mornings when we wake up, we do remember them, and other mornings we don't. And maybe it's as simple as that. In this waking dream, sometimes we do remember that it is a dream, and sometimes we don't remember. And that's okay too. You know, because it's just how life is showing up right then and there.
That's exactly right. That's beautiful. And what does it care? What does it care? Life, you know, it made itself the whole dream for the very purpose of getting lost. You know, like when you go to the cinema and you want to watch a good movie, you want to forget that you are in a cinema. You want to cry and you're going to experience fear and laugh with the hero. You want to feel like, oh, this is your life. You're going to be, it should be immersive. That's the good entertainment. And we are talking about the God, the Creator, the Almighty, the best entertainer in the whole world. How much better it will be from the best 4D Hollywood movie that you've ever seen, and how immersive those can be. So that dream is so much better. If there is a forgetting in the dream, who is there that's forgetting? There's no one there. It's just life completely immersing itself in the dream. And life itself enjoying the immersion. There is no one there to be aware or to awaken or to realize. No, it's just a space. Yes, Isabel.
I hope I can good speak about it. I read yesterday a nice thing in a book, and they say, this speaking like you're speaking really, and then you say, it's like when you're sitting in a cinema and the neighbor take a candy and they wrap the paper and then you go back. You lose the movie, you're out of the movie, and the paper is something like, oh shit, man, eat the candy again, you know? And it's like more that you're the consciousness speaks now, like the wrapping of the paper for to recognize. Now, I don't think I explain it really good, but yeah, it's like the paper.
Yeah,
Screeching.
beautiful. Yeah, it's a great metaphor. Only when you have your neighbors wrapping the paper, you want to punch them in the face. And here you are hearing the message that responds to your heart and you want to hug it.
Yeah. You were melting in and such a yummy golden to be here. Yeah, that's nice.
Actually, I have another card, which I think is a good opportunity now. This one is to recognize. Is it gold? Copper? I get confused. Yes, gold. If the mind is not acting out as the cloud and obstruction, what will be receiving these words is that same intelligence energy. Listen and receive it with your heart. The heart. The heart.
Yes.
I heard these lovely words from a song the other day. Something that went like, I was a heart before I was a mind. Not that you're anything, but it's speaking to what it is, the life that enables the remembrance and the seeming forgetting and all of it, and thinking it's me who's remembering. And it's, it's like Jay said, it's these beings, seeming beings walking around all saying I. Yeah. All having this seeming reference point of I, me. Wow, that is incredible illusion. Wow. And for each and every one, it'll be no different. When they take a look, try and find that one seeming entity, and there will be no thing there to be found. Wow. Wow, right? That's just it. Yeah. It negates all of those, every possible concept, idea, negative, positive, whatever. You know nothing.
No.
You are doing nothing. You are not nothing.
Yeah.
You are no thing. Awareness.
Sometimes I have when you're in the bed with the water and you put out the stop and then all go into the the metaphor a little bit for a full of water pot, and then you put out the stop and then all flowing away, and then it's
yeah.
And everything is gone and everything is there.
Yeah, yeah,
Mm.
yeah. There's, like Kat says, there's the body, the thoughts will continue to seemingly appear. The body will be doing its thing. There's nothing that anyone can do about any of that.
Mm.
It will just continue on. Just like when you're watching the movie, if the reel keeps rolling, it will continue showing. Whether, and one seeming actor moves off the screen or not.
Mm.
Yeah. But it's when you see that as we, each and every happening is just a happening
Mm.
it's not even a word for it. The instant, it's not instant, it's never ending, but it's also only, you only know it's just happening now. That's as close as we can get is now.
Yeah.
Then what? And there's no one there actually experiencing what's, the suffering, to experience the suffering, the so-called psychological suffering. Then what? Where is the baggage being stored from history, from your traumatic birth? And this is not to negate the seeming suffering, the psychological suffering. But the question comes, where is it? Where is it stored? Oh, it must just come fresh and new in that instant. If somebody asks you, why did you do such and such 5 years ago? The answer that arises won't be, it'll be made up on the spot in that moment, fresh and new. Improvised.
Yes.
Yeah.
Improvised and spontaneous.
Yeah.
It's like
And the so-called message, the so-called message balloon is always too late.
always,
Yes.
always too late. Yes, the narration of the mind is always post-event,
Yeah.
always playing catch up.
Yes.
And never gets there, never eternally behind.
Yeah.
Like a football commentator.
Yeah. So good fun. Oh my gosh.
It's fun. And it's the time. Amin says, yes, beautiful,
Mhm.
Tanya. Yes, improvised. Yes, and that brought us to the no time of closing up the meeting. And thank you everyone for being with us. And again, see you in a couple of days if you feel like, and consider opening up and contributing and hearing, letting it.
Bye.
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 Bye. See you soon.
Thank you,
Bye-bye,
everyone.
everyone.
Bye.
Bye.
That's a love.
That's a